Why are your pant cuffs rolled up? You look like an idiot.
Oh, keep them up. Roll them down. Keep them up. You are a high achiever. If you weren't, you wouldn't be here. And like most high achievers, you probably have an inner critic. That's how a lot of us self-motivate negatively. Now, this inner critic has most likely pushed you to help you achieve. But it's not necessarily a recipe for joy in life or work. The inner critic's refrain is something to the tune of, "You are not enough." Now, this critic's never going to go away, but we can diminish its power. And the way that our brains work is that inner criticism gets a free pass. Just come on through, come on through. Whereas positivity can get held up and hassled. How do you know your critic is speaking? Because it drains you. So let's see how we can turn down the volume of inner criticism. And then what do we do about it? So the first part of turning down the volume of inner criticism is awareness, is being aware that it happens. How do you do this? How do you become aware of this thing that's probably with you all the time? Well, I want you to think of a time when your inner critical voice would come up, or maybe it has come up. Just go back there, or just think of what would happen. What does it say? What's it sound like? And where do you feel it in your body? You know this better than anyone else. Really go there. One thing that is incredibly helpful and potent is to name your inner critic. To name it. Name that voice you just heard, that feeling you just heard. You can name it the judge, Judgy McGee, Karen. I'm sorry, Karen. You can name it Ken. You can name it critic. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you name it. And why do we do that? It's to create an anchor so that we're aware that it's happening. Now, if you are a visual learner, or you kind of see things more that way, you can create an avatar for it. So something that represents this critical voice. And something that can be super helpful is to make it a little bit silly to take away its voltage. For example, I have a client whose inner critic is a T-Rex. Yeah, it's not so overwhelming. But the thing about the T-Rex is it also has these tiny little arms. That's just like this. And so whenever it comes up in conversation, it's something you can laugh about. So name it or make an avatar. Create an anchor to build awareness. Now, even though this critic is part of you, it's not you, because you are not your thoughts. But this inner critical voice can be so potent, so overwhelming that it can fuse with you and just kind of take over. And with awareness alone, you start to create some distance, some psychological distance, some separation from this voice so that it's not fused with you. Once we have awareness, we want to accept that this voice is happening. Now, that might sound crazy. It's like, this thing is criticizing me and just, making my day miserable? Yes. Go with me on this. What does acceptance look like? Acceptance means there's no struggle. And why accept this? Because this voice is not the enemy. It's actually trying to help you. It's more of a misguided friend than an enemy. And the reason I say not to try to suppress it or push it away is because when you do that, I mean, you guys know this, when you push something away and you try to suppress it, you just make it stronger. So suppressing inner criticism and just, okay, stop thinking that. It's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. How do you operationalize acceptance? Because it's pretty clear, anchors, oh, okay, Judgy McGee is talking. Okay, I hear you, Judge. But acceptance is a little more abstract. So one way to do it is when you hear that inner critical voice, just, okay, thank you. I mean, you don't have to say it out loud. That might be weird, like in the middle of the ED. Thank you. Just thank it. Or, hey, thanks for pushing me. I got it from here. Now, sometimes that might not be enough, and it can be a little extra spicy. Can I get a little, on the drum, can I get like a little extra spicy cymbal? Like, shh, oh, it's extra spicy. Oh, extra spicy even on the slide. And you might need a reset breath to just turn down the volume, just down regularly, because you get this sympathetic surge when you get this inner criticism. But even awareness of this, acceptance that it's talking, and a little bit of regulation might not be enough. And what might be in order is a recalibration. Here's what I mean by that. Your inner critic works in the world of threat, fear, judgment, shame, guilt. But there's another part of you that is curious, compassionate, warm, discerning. You could think of as your inner mentor. These are both part of you. Inner critic, limbic. Inner mentor, prefrontal cortex. But the inner mentor is really the embodiment of the question, how do you want to show up for yourself? It could be a phrase, it could be a question, it could be another avatar that you picture. It doesn't really matter. But how do you want to show up for yourself? So for me, when my inner critic comes up, okay, accept it's happening. Maybe I'll take a breath. And then it's a question of what's in my control here? What's in my control? What's not in my control? I'm going to try to let go. I can't always let it go, but I'm going to try to let it go. And what's in my control, that's where I'm going to put all my energy. Or maybe it's focus on the process, not the goal. Or even good. You're met by an obstacle? Good. Let's find the opportunity in this. Or maybe just a positive phrase you say to yourself. Okay, I'm in the stress. You got this. You got this. What does this look like in real time? Let's say this is something that happened to me a number of times I don't even want to admit on this stage. I lost my chest tube hole. Yeah, made the cut, finger goes in, and then, I don't know, had to move my hands for some reason, and I can't find it. Oh my God, you suck. You suck. You do suck at chest tubes. And everyone's gonna know it. They're gonna see it, and they're gonna talk about it to all their buddies. Say, you suck. Okay. All right, I got you. Thank you. But this is pretty spicy, and it's probably going to impact my performance. So I need to downregulate. And now, to really focus in on this, I need to recalibrate. And so for me, the question, what's in my control here? What is my next step? What's next? Going from you suck to what's next. And what's next is, all right, make another hole, put your finger in it, and let's go. Your inner critic is here to stay. But with awareness, acceptance, and then regulation, you then have the choice to how you want to show up for yourself. I hope this was useful.